MTD CNC are in Dungannon today in Northern Ireland. A quick hop over the water after an early start, and I'm at BSK Engineering. I'm here with Gary. We're going to be talking about the kerf machines that you have here. Gary, firstly, tell us about BSK Engineering and what you actually do.
BSK was established around 18 years ago. Small family company, opened up doing gates and railings for domestic customers. 10 years later, they developed themselves into the commercial sector for stairs, gates and railings, and then shortly after that, after our first install of kerf, we were able to start into the supply of cut and folded parts.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today, the cutting and the folding of the components. Well, actually, we're just going to be talking about the cutting here, because that is all you do, isn't it? You basically cut parts for the mining sector.
Yeah, so we receive all our drawings from our clients. We process the drawings, program the machines, cut them, fold them, supply them. They do all their fabrication themselves.
Okay, now behind us we've got two machines. The one directly behind us here is 8 metres by 2 metres in size. 8 by 2.5. Do you ever fill this?
Oh yeah. Well, not so much the 2.5, but definitely the 8 metre length, always.
With multiple parts or with one plate?
Some of them can be just one plate. So yeah, we cut sides from about 7.5 metres by 1800 wide, and that's for screening. It's going all over the world to the different sectors.
And tell me about the technology that you're using here, because this is a plasma and it's the UltraSharp plasma. So what does that give you as a company over and above what you used to have, which was just a plasma?
Your whole quality and your finished cut is miles better. You know, you can cut up to 4 thicknesses and still achieve your tolerance on your holes of 0.5 of a mil, which is fantastic on our customers because it's critical that we receive them tolerances.
What's the thickest that you can cut with this technology?
The thickest that we personally cut here is 40 mil, and that's on the 275 amp kerf settings. On the UltraSharp, we cut up to 25 mil.
And do you think these days, with the way plasma's moving, the cut is as good in a lot of instances as a laser?
Definitely, I would say definitely up to the 12-15 mil range, we're as good as laser and can achieve just as good a tolerance.
And is there a speed compromise? Are the machines quite fast?
The machines, I'd say after 10 mil, are just as fast as laser.
And then the cut quality, tell me about that then with the plasma. You can achieve everything you need to achieve here. Do you have to check the parts as much with the UltraSharp as you used to, or do you kind of take it for granted now that the quality of the parts coming up is more than good enough?
It's very easy to take it for granted, but we still instruct our guys to do our quality checks as to meet our client demands, but more often than not, it's always there.
The client demands are an important thing. You can't afford for these machines to go down or have a problem when your client needs parts. How do kerf respond if there are issues, and do you get many?
There aren't many issues, but we rate kerf on the response time more than the issues we have, because if there is an issue, if that machine isn't up and going on the same day, it's definitely going the next day, which is fantastic. Like I know from other companies you just don't get.
And in this unit here, we've got the 2 machines, but it's not the only 2 you have. You have a third. What's the difference with that particular model and that machine?
So that was our first machine we installed. It's a 3 metre by 1500 bed. So that got us slowly into the sector, but when you're dealing with such large machines that are being made for the quarrying sector, you need your longer parts. So that's why we decided to upgrade to the 8 metre long.
And what about the cost of consumables? Are these machines expensive to run, or are they economical?
In the long run, economical. Definitely, you know, you've got your oxygen and nitrogen, and then you have your standard copper consumables that go into your torch.
And do you have to do much maintenance here? I mean, let's look. I know this is a fabrication shop, and I know that you're cutting a lot of metal here, but they always looks like there's a lot of slurry, should we call it, that being the correct term, on these beds. How do you get rid of it? How do you manage all of that?
Okay, so they're not too bad. I'd say around the 6 month period, we would change the slots in these beds, and then we would change the slots once, and then the next time we're changing the slots again, we would empty the bins.
Gary, it's very easy for me to miss things as well sometimes when I'm interviewing. Is there anything else that stands out for you that kerf developments have delivered?
I'd say one of the big things that we've experienced every time we've bought a machine would be your install time. They give you a date and they're on site 7 o'clock that morning on that date, and normally within 3 to 4 days that machine is up and cutting after testing, which is fantastic. Like a 4-day install, and the tidiness of it, and you can see for yourself, it's second to none.
There's also the control. I've heard they're very easy to use.
Yeah, the control's great. We can bring a new employee in here with no experience on a plasma and have him trained up within 3 to 4 hours. No problem. He can use it then by himself. It's program everything in the office, and then he can set it up here by himself.
So if a competitor to Kerf came in this building and you were looking for another machine, they wouldn't last very long, would they? They'd probably be out on the hills.
No, definitely not. They've been here, they've tried, but we always go back to Kerf.